You were a kid in Germany. How old were you when your family moved to Australia?
I was 11, so I'd
11.
spent a significant part of my life in Germany and didn't speak any English when I came to Australia, and I had the full migrant experience. It was yeah, it was full on, and I think heavy music at some point kind of helped me through those difficult teenage years. And yeah, I'm eternally grateful to not only the sort of the rock and the metal community, but just bands like Typo Negative for just bringing me through those difficult years, and being my musical accompaniment to them.
I imagine that part of your passion here for migration law is the fact that you were an immigrant and you came to Germany. And were there any experiences in your childhood that might have influenced your decision to go into that area of law?
It's funny. I thought it was my migration experience that made me want to become a migration lawyer, but I don't think it was because I didn't really have the same migration experience as a lot of adults have. I was kind of dragged along as a child, and it was probably easier for me than most, which is not saying much because it was still quite hard. I think my passion for immigration law stems from just a love for weird bureaucracy and red tape and passports and countries and obscure breakaway regions. I don't know. I've always liked that obscurity. I've always liked that everything is made up, and immigration law, particularly, and borders are completely made up, more made up than law itself, and that kind of fascinates me. So maybe I think it's more that than my own migration experience, to be honest.
Does it help you though identify with people like your clients that you're working with, like the emotions they're going through, the concerns they have? Are you able to identify at least to relate to some of it?
Yeah, and I think actually music helps a lot. To be honest, I think being in tune, being a musician helps you develop sort of an EQ and I think a sensitivity that is more a human connection, and that in itself helps me with the law. So it's certainly that experience of being scared of the new and coming to a new place and having to settle there, but also just that EQ that you really need in something like law, which is a service-based industry, and particularly with immigration law, because you're dealing with people who have uprooted their entire lives to be in Australia, who are struggling to stay here. And it's not all it's not all bad. Some of them are just purely formalities, but behind every formality is a person, and when you can connect with them on that emotional level, it's yeah, it's really nice. And I thank music for that, I think.